Okay, so I'm going to try to make up for the time that Melissa had to take. So, okay, I only have 4 or 5 slides, and they're mostly videos. So what we'll do is, I mean, now that we know that there's a website, so we can always check it out. So what I'm just going to present is, hi, I'm Luanne. If I haven't met some of you, I'm a producer in the Esplanade. I was a producer in the Esplanade. I just left my job about a couple months ago because I want to go into producing for young audiences on a freelance basis. But what I wanted to show and share was some of the things that we had been doing for the last 10 years to see why I hope to evolve it for the future. So the slide before this actually talks about playtime. No? No, I lied. Okay, so we have a series called Feed Your Imagination, which is for the 12 years old and above, and it's supported by the National Arts Council, which allows the schools to take the students to the theatre for half the price that they would normally pay. So that's about 10 Singapore dollars, 10 Aussie, 7 USD, give and take. So I will just quickly show you one video, this one. So one of the ways that we try to encourage the teachers is to make it relevant. Yesterday I mentioned quickly about context and relevance, because for the teachers, they're not going to bring the students if they don't see the relevance of what they do in the classroom. So what we do is that we tell them, oh, this is, you know, for social studies, this is for you to bring those local folktales from page to stage and just come. So in doing so, we have a live Chinese orchestra that plays, and then we have a video of a folktale that works like a cartoon. So it's actually, I don't think you can see, but there's actually 3 screens. So the show moves, like, you know, when a prince is running away from the palace, he runs from one screen to the other. So there's actually a storyteller here. So the characters are actually inspired by the Chinese instruments, like the Chinese guitar and the pipa, and they jump around without feet, which kids find it really cute. So the point of that was that so this angry father who doesn't want his prince to go out of the palace, but he runs away anyway, falls in love with a village girl. Okay, I think you can't see it, so I'm going to skip it. So basically the idea was, after the 40-minute show, so we tell the students, hey, you know, did you enjoy the music? Did you hear the birds chirping? Do you see the horses running? Oh, do you know this was made by the Chinese instruments? Do you know the pipa can make this sound, the blah 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 can make this? And they're like, oh, we didn't know that. Like, oh, don't you watch Frozen? Did you watch, oh, do you know those music that plays? It's by these musicians. And then as that way of kind of like an entry point, we get them interested in Chinese orchestral music, because God forbid in China, you know, in Singapore it's traditional, it's boring, right? So we try to make it accessible and fun. So in a way, we target the teachers to tell them why it works in the classroom. Through the art form, we make it fun for the students. So when they're here, they relate it back to what they would have seen in the movie theater or cinema. So that's an education program. It's just, it smells and stick in education because of all these like things that we try to make the teachers tick, so that they will actually bring the children, and we hope that then when they come, the children enjoy the process. So we do that in a various form. We have we have a, you know, all the, like Malaysia, we have all the various cultural programs that we do that. The other thing that we do next is a program called Playtime. Playtime is a show that we started back about 8 years ago now. It was actually inspired when I went to Imagine It and I saw a show for 2 to 4, and I understood what we were talking about yesterday when we talked about Bailey Theatre and why it was important to have that sort of experiences for really young audiences, because they, in their own right, experiences art in that sense that we might not understand. I think previously in Singapore, everybody did theatre for 5 and up because that's when you use language and that's a way to communicate. But I think increasingly we realize that children are able to understand, and so much more than we realize. So one thing, whilst a lot of people say, oh, we're building new audiences for the future, which I think is a really valid point, and for institutions and festivals, it's very important. But I think as artists and people who support artists, I think it's also very important for us to see the young child as a 5-year-old, he's as full a human being as a 5-year-old, as a 2.5, you know. So we have to make experiences for 2.5 and 5, not just see them as a potential audience for when they're 25. Do you know what I mean? And I think understanding that we don't have to sell that to your stakeholders and your sponsors and your bosses, but it is important as we are making art to understand and keep that, I think, so that we are not just seeing these audiences as future audience, just, you know what I mean, just see them for what they're worth, but what they are really now. So for playtime, okay, so I'm not gonna go into, so playtime is the next slide, actually. Sorry. So there's some videos in some of these boxes, so you can click on them, I won't go into it. And the last one is Octopus. So Octopus as well, I won't go into, we also managed, we started doing shows for sensory friendly, so including children with special needs into our performances. That was quite nice. And Octopus is a festival that we do. There's a few videos in these as well. I'll just quickly collaboration with Patch, which is a theatre company in Australia, and we did a collaboration with them. This video would show you what the collaboration is about. It's a 4-minute video shortly about the process. So that will give you an insight of what happened in the 6 weeks that we did through an Asian residency. I think that's it. Yes. So I guess yeah. So. Yeah, watch the videos. It's a lot more fun than watching me talk, I think. So have a good rest of the day, everyone.